Welcome back. The revamped and renewed Miss Namibia and Miss T Namibia competitions crowned their respective queens recently, where two breathtaking Namibian beauties, Jameela Uiras and Oriana Ribeiro, respectively won the coveted titles. They now join us this evening. Ladies, good evening and welcome. Congratulations, first of all, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Now, I want to know if the realization has sunk in yet that you are the faces and representatives of, the two franchises, Miss Namibia and Miss T Namibia. Let's start with you, Oriana.
I don't think it's sunken in just yet for me. I think I'm still getting used to that because at home I'm still just Oriana. So for the most part, I don't think it's sunken in just yet for me.
Yeah, and yourself, Jameela?
Definitely. Definitely, because I'm starting with my preparations for Miss Universe already, and besides that I am also busy with my social cause, collaborating with other foundations and enjoying the rain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jameela, did you expect to win? Because not only on the evening when your name, was announced, did everybody shout, I knew it, but you had such a lot of support from the public.
Yes, I did.
From the time that you entered up until the night of crowning.
Well, one thing that I told everyone was I never had the expectation, but I knew that I was worthy, because there were so many intelligent women that I was competing with, and I felt like they were all worth the title. So I was really content. And within the moment, I felt so humbled and I created a lot of gratitude. So I didn't know, but I'm glad that I'm representing my country now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oriana, what did that moment feel like, hearing your name announced as the winner of Miss T Namibia 2023? What was, going through your mind and, of course, through your body?
That moment felt absolutely surreal. I was actually, in the moment, I was quite confused and I couldn't believe that it was me. But once it started, as I was walking towards Zoe to get my sash and the crown, in that moment I started to realize that it is me, and I felt overwhelmed with joy and gratitude.
So it sounds like an out-of-body experience almost.
You said it perfectly. That's exactly what it felt like, yes.
You said, you're still Oriana at home, but amongst your friends and extended family, what's the reception been like since you've been back from the coast?
It's been very positive. It's been very positive. Everyone is so incredibly supportive of me. A lot of people are happy for me, so that was very encouraging, and I felt a lot of warmth from the people around me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course the preparation for these two pageants is quite intense. I mean, we've seen you months ago and, being on the premises, getting training for different things. And I want to know, Jameela, what inspired you, to enter the competition and what, your journey's been like?
It's a various amount of reasons. Sadly, I lost my mom last year, September. So I told myself I would really want to make her proud once more, and now it's not once more anymore. And also I had this really big fear of speaking in public. So I had to challenge myself, and I have a competitive nature, but I was always scared of speaking up. So I knew the platform was going to give me the opportunity to overcome the fear, and it actually has. So now I can amplify my voice and speak for everyone else that are marginalized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. What social causes or platforms, are you passionate about, in terms of promoting during your reign? You mentioned it briefly earlier.
Yes, youth empowerment. Also for a amount of reasons. Well, I feel like we've been told time and over again that we are the future leaders. But it's the future now, and we're still not leaders. So when are they going to give us the opportunity to actually take up spaces where we deserve to be? So I'd like to focus on all 4 pillars of the National Youth Policy. And I want to be an inspiration and empower the youth quite a lot. But I also firmly believe that my social cause does not end with my social cause or my reign or my responsibilities. So I'd like to extend my hand and help wherever I can.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. And yourself, Oriana, what social causes or issues are you passionate about in terms of raising awareness as Miss T Namibia?
What really is close to my heart is the mental health struggles that people face, or especially the youth, and not knowing what to do about that. So my advocacy is mindset change, and I was inspired to choose that as my advocacy because I've also experienced difficulties in my life, and I let those difficulties bring me down. But once I had learned that it's not your circumstances that dictate the quality of your life, but rather how you think about it and respond to it, it completely changed my life for the better. And now I want to share that message with the rest of the youth.
That's such a beautiful response. What qualities do you believe Oriana, would make a strong role model for a young woman?
I I think the first and what I believe is the most important is integrity. You cannot lead without integrity and empathy. A leader that has empathy will do loads for their nation, because someone who cares and has a heart for their nation will put in the effort to make sure that everyone around them is succeeding.
Yeah, and of course a lot of young women are going to be looking up to you, and you know, you're now a beacon, and I suppose the image of inspiration for young Namibian women that not only want to get into pageantry but just in general. So how do you think, you know, you can use your platform to inspire other teenagers?
I think the first thing that I can do is by leading by example. I think that's the most important thing that I can do, because it's through me, it's through people seeing what I do and how I do it, that they'll be inspired to take those chances on themselves and do the best that they can.
Yeah. Jameela, you mentioned how, you know, the platform and the process, the road to becoming Miss Namibia, helped you with not being extroverted, but being able to use your voice with public speaking, etc. So what advice do you have now that you've learned a few tricks and trades, of course, to other young women that are struggling with their self-esteem?
I would want to share my story with them first, but also I need every young woman to know that authenticity is where it is at. So for as long as you stay true to yourself, and for as long as you believe in yourself, you can anything is possible. So I had a question on stage, and I had so many answers for it, but I kept it so short and sweet. But there's nothing more inspiring than someone writing their own story. So I'm busy writing my own story. I'm the author of my own book right now. So I told myself that my circumstances cannot define my future, and that is why I decided to take the leap of faith, believe in myself, and change my story. Because for how long was I going to sit back and say, I can't speak, so I can't be the next Miss Namibia? I had to change that. So change the narrative, believe in yourself, stay positive, and just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. It took so much for me to be here right now, but it would have not happened if I did not have that thought in the back of my head that I am capable and I am worthy enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned that, of course, it has sunk in for you, especially because the preparation towards Miss Universe has happened so quickly.
Yes.
So talk to us about where you're at for that. We've heard, of course, from previous Miss Namibia contestants that it's a lot of work and a lot of preparation that goes into it. In fact, you should start before you enter the competition.
Yes. Well, right now, my main focus would be my national costume. I want the Namibians to be able to relate to what I wear that night. So I'm sitting in I need to put in so much work, because I need to think how I have to surprise the Namibians. So for now, it's actually my national costume, and then everything else will fall into place, you know, because I have a great team. The NBC team have our backs. Like I mentioned in the previous interview, they pamper us so much. So I know that it's going to be a joyride.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your national costume, of course, is going to be one way that you're standing out. But how, you know, in terms of being unique, do you think you can represent Namibia on this international stage?
Can I surprise you?
Of course you can.
Yes,
So we have to look forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Any memorable moments that you can share with us, Oriana? You know, during this, of course, prior to being crowned as well, it's been a journey, and anything that sticks out to you that you always, you know, keep dear to you?
I must say our time in Swakop, that was the most memorable time of the competition for me personally. It was so amazing spending so much time with the other finalists and getting to know them in that way. But I would say one key moment that particularly stood out was on our first night upon arrival. All the finalists and myself got into one room, and we had a slumber party, sort of.
We made so much noise.
Yeah. And we played games, and it was so much fun, especially getting to see people in that light. You get to see people for who they really are when you're playing games with them.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
I want to know, do you ladies think that the criteria for pageantry has changed over the years? I think 15, 20 years ago, and you guys were probably still very, very small toddlers and perhaps not even born, the criteria was really just, you know, look presentable, look the part. And that's not the case anymore. You really have to bring something to the table. And I can tell from Oriana being very well spoken as a young person, this is not your average teenager.
Yeah, she's very smart. Intelligent.
Yeah. So do you think it's a good thing that, you know, we're expecting more from our beauty queens, Oriana?
Absolutely. I think it's an amazing thing because I found that people expecting more from me pushes me actually. And not only pushes me to be the best person that I can be, but to do more for the people around me. And it's inspired a bit of selflessness within me. So I've become to really appreciate that.
Yeah. And your 2 cents, Jameela?
I always say that she's my spokesperson now. but I like the fact that it changed over the years. And yes, it was only beauty in the beginning, and now it's more than that, because you need to have a purpose during the entire journey. So what exactly is your purpose besides being beautiful? So I like the fact that the narrative has changed.
They say you can't eat beauty. I
You
wish we
can't.
could.
What are you doing for the community? You
Yeah,
can't just
yeah.
show up your beauty all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are your future goals and of course beyond your range, Jameela?
Well, I'm still growing my personal brand, and the platform is helping me with that. And a very interesting fact that no one knows about me is that I'm into farming. So I would like to study agriculture very soon.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, and with the farming and the agriculture, I feel like I could help a lot of communities, societies.
Yeah, yeah.
Not just teaching them, but also being able to, sell my products, my crops, and all of that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. And yourself, Oriana, your future ambitions beyond the reign of Miss Teen?
Well, I would like to go and study. I would love to go and pursue a bachelor's degree in psychology, and once I've finished studying my undergrad, I would love to come back and try for Miss Namibia.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's interesting.
So she's going to take a 2-year gap.
Wouldn't that be something? Miss Teen becomes Miss Namibia.
I would not want to compete against her.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here this
Thank you.
evening. I know that you've got jam-packed schedules, and we appreciate you squeezing us in. And of course, all the best with the next year and all of the endeavors and projects and plans that you've got. We wish you all the strength.
Thank
You're
you
going to
so
need
much.
it.
Thank you so
Thank you so much.
Thank you
All
for
right.
having us.
That was Miss Namibia, Jameela Uiras, and Miss Teen Namibia, Oriana Ribeiro, speaking to us this evening. We're going to take a look at our global roundup, and we'll be back after that.